Okay, let's go over the Thorns build. Open Wounds build. So, let's go over gear to start. Um, so we're using Sword Guard with 6 ohms, which really shouldn't be that expensive, especially if it's not F. We're using Halberds, 3 socketed, obviously a little more expensive, but we're getting +5 masteries from this. Socketed are just bleed jewels. Maras for the res, the +2 skills. Just for the extra bleed, I think that's good. Headhunter's Glory for the amp damage, socketed with bleed. G-Bane, again socketed with bleed. We get attacker takes damage from this. We get more bleed. We get plenty of tankiness. We get CBF, so that's good. Soul Drainers for the physical pierce and the mana leech sustain. 2 BK rings, just again for plus skills. Get as much mastery as we can out of this. String of Ears, more tankiness, right? So we have tons of PDR, physical damage reduction. Um, Gore Riders again for more bleed. Not many choices for bleed boots, but yeah, if we're stacking bleed, there you go. Mercenary. So not necessary. I just wanted him to do as much damage as possible. He has got a steel pillar. Obviously, this is super expensive. You don't need to have this in your build. But his whole point right now is just to stay alive and do damage. Daryl's Visage, Might Aura, really helps him out and gives me a little extra damage from my leaps. So, just for CBF, that lock out gives you a little more fire damage attack rating rather, but that's not that important with leap and string of ears tankiness. So these can be different. These are not that important. Really, the biggest important thing for him is having Thorn's Aura. Reason being, attacker takes damage. Thorn's Aura both apply a stack of open wounds. So we're gonna get 2 stacks like as soon as we leap into a pack, and well actually 3 stacks because we're leaping into a pack. So leap, Thorn's Aura, ATD are all going to give us open wounds immediately. So that's nice. I have this in my inventory, right? So if you last switch, I mean that's obviously big budget. It does help your clear speed a little bit, not a whole lot, but obviously, we already got good resists. But it gives you fade. Obviously this is super expensive. It does help. You're even tankier. You do even more damage, and obviously you can just give this guy fortitude, whatever. So skills. Let's go over skills. I still have skills points remaining. You can kind of invest them where you want. But 1 point in leap attack. I didn't even max this out. I could max that out, or I could dump into there. But obviously max out Iron Skin, Deep Wounds, your Synergy Grimoire Totem, Battle Command, just for the extra bonus plus to skills. So pretty cool. Let's give it a go. Oh, and I'm sorry, Mastery Skillers, Max Life, Charms. I think that was everything I showed. Let's get into a map. Alright, so we're just leaping. And things die. And you can see my leap damage is not. Look at it. I mean, it's not big. Doesn't look big at all. But stuff is dying. Stuff is dying and you're not dying. Like, I'm gonna sit here and not take damage, right? Because I have big chance to block. And then as soon as you need to sustain, it just gets you right back up. You have enough lifesteal. You have enough lifesteal that you're getting yourself right back up. If you got any like physical immunes, oh, he just exploded. Yeah, you get any physical immune packs, you get any stone skin packs, bosses, you can just battle shout or battle cry, excuse me, and make quick work of it. Right, and I think the most important thing to remember is this is a tank. right? This is a build that just lives. You know, I did forget, you know, I was running Last Wish. You do have to dump a lot more into dex. I actually don't need to have this much dex. I could have like 600 or 700 more life because of Sword Guard, it gives you a big chance to block, 40% chance to block, which is pretty nutty. So yeah, if I would redo this build, I would have a lot less points in dex. But I did want to keep it this way because I will show what Last Wish does. So let's actually just do that. Alright, so we get a level 17 Might Aura from that, so we don't need it on the Mercenary. And let's just show what it does. So again, you're just as tanky. Or more tanky, you have more sustain. I think damage is better. So it's a potential upgrade. I don't know how much you're really getting out of it. I think it's worth it if you want to like do bigger content. You can probably do some you could probably do some Ubering with this, bosses. I mean, Leap is viable for that. And I think you're nice. I think with all these open wounds, bleeds, that's a definite possibility. And I was talking about, you know, sustain. Like, I'm gonna let myself get down a little bit here. Eventually. Alright, never mind. I'm not dying quick enough. I was just gonna show like what life cap can do. You really just like one hit and you're back to full HP. It's pretty nutty. So this is, in my opinion, the best I could do. I could get a bleed build to perform, taking into account just how tanky you are, just how much content you can really do. You know, I don't think you're limited to any content really. Fizz immunes, you just amp, you battle cry, and you're done. So I think it's pretty cool. Super tanky, does the damage, clear speeds really don't suffer that much from how tanky you are. It's a good option. Alright. With that, I'm gonna stop the recording. I'll keep streaming, but anyway, there's your Leap build.